Well, hi everyone, and welcome back to Waterhouse Forde. This is just a quick short video to show you the struggle that we're having at the moment with this stud in the front of the engine. I'm just going to zoom in on that a little bit. Now, as you can see, the stud is inside there, obviously, but actually what you're seeing is the tip of an easy out. Now, an easy out is a tool that you use normally to remove studs or screws that are broken off. And the idea is that you basically, it's essentially a backward drill. So you drill backwards, drill a hole in the stud, and then the easy out it's a conical tool, I guess. I'll show you one in a minute, but basically what it does is you turn it backwards into the hole that you've drilled, and the harder you turn, the tighter it gets, and eventually the theory is that it then basically removes the stud, or the end of the stud. Unfortunately, what's happened in this case is that the easy out is actually broken off inside there, which is kind of like the worst situation you can imagine, because that easy out is actually made from a hardened steel material, and what that means is it's impossible to drill with a normal drill. So what I'm going to be doing today is basically trying to essentially grind it out using very small tool or very small bits on a Dremel-like tool. Mine's not a Dremel, but it's the same kind of thing. So I'm going to take you over to the workbench now and show you the tools that I've got and that I'm going to be trying. And then we'll come back and we'll have a go. I'll set the camera up so you can see how it's going. Obviously I won't film the whole thing because my expectation is that this is going to take a few hours to actually grind that easy out tip out of there. Once that's done, hopefully then we'll be able to essentially drill the stud bigger and bigger. Just keep on going with a slightly bigger drill each time until we get to the point where hopefully it will essentially break up or disintegrate, and then but hopefully not damage those threads in the actual block, and then I will obviously retap the threads, and hopefully that will work. But anyway, we're just going to have to see how we get on. Okay, so this is an easy out, just to show you. So as you can see there, or hopefully you can see, that is a small drill bit on the end, and it's a backwards drill, so it basically cuts when you turn it backwards. And then on the other side is, as I said, a conical bit, which has, as you can see, left-hand thread on it. So as the theory is that as you turn that into the hole that you've drilled, that it will then eventually, it'll obviously get tighter and tighter, and eventually it'll loosen the stud, and the stud will come out with it. Sadly, what's happened, this is the one that I actually used, and as you can see, there's the drill bit end, and the other end is literally sheared off and embedded itself obviously quite tightly into that stud. Now, as I said, this is hardened steel, so there's no way I'm going to get that or be able to drill that with a normal drill. What I see other people have done is they've used these Dremel tools or Dremel bits. So we're going to start off with this. It's a kind of a, hopefully you can see that, it's essentially a conical shape, and the idea is I want to make it's kind of acting like a countersink or a punch before you start drilling. So the idea is to make a conical impression on the end of the bit. You can see, if you saw earlier when I was showing you the actual bit in the engine, you can see I've actually already started that. This is another tool. I'm not really sure how this is going to work. I think this is more meant as a file or a rasp, but I got it anyway. I probably won't use that to start with. We'll see how we get on. These are the ones that I intend to use. So they are essentially like a grinding stone, very small grinding stone on the end of a shank. Let's try and get that into focus. There you go. And I bought 3 packs of those, and there's 3 in each pack, so hopefully that'll be enough to get through. But whilst I was looking, I also saw this. Now this is it's meant to be a carbide tip, but it's basically steel rather than stone abrasive. So I'm hoping, well, I'm going to give that a go, and we'll see whether that's going to be stronger than the hardened steel that's in there. My suspicion is that it'll probably just blunten this and it'll be no good. But it does indicate on the side here that it is for steel. So we'll see whether it's for hardened steel or not. But that's one I'm going to try. Okay, so I'm going to get set up, and I'll film the first couple of minutes or maybe a second or two of me working on it, but obviously I won't film the whole thing because it is probably going to take a couple of hours. Okay, well it took about an hour, but I do believe that I've got most of that, the tip of the easy out or ground away basically. Now what I've done, you'll see I've put this plate on just to make sure, well, to show me exactly where this hole needs to be, and to help me make sure that I get the center of the hole as much as possible. So I've been going at it with that grinding stone, and I've actually broken through now. So I'm back to the hole which I drilled to start with, essentially, which was this drill bit here. From memory, that is I believe it's a size 4mm drill bit. So I've drilled that. I'll show you. All the way through, so that's now completely through. Now one of the problems I've got obviously is that I'm afraid of filings going inside the engine here, around the back, and unfortunately there's not a hell of a lot I can do about it, because unfortunately that hole does basically go through, and it hits up against the sleeve of the piston. So now this is a water jacket, right? So that does mean that we're going to have some metal filings in the water. I'm just hoping that they're going to be fine enough to work their way out. And of course, when we obviously I'll try and flush this as best I can before we go any further. But more importantly, once we get the engine up and running, we'll have to flush the cooling system a few times to make sure that we get any of those filings out. At the end of the day, it's just metal, and it will rust, and it will eventually disintegrate in the cooling system. It's not ideal, but there's not, short of removing the sleeves again, which clearly I don't want to do. There's not really a hell of a lot I can do. I did try to, for example, blow through here in order to get it to blow the shavings out, but what happens is it actually creates almost like a vacuum, and it sucks the shavings in. So best I can do really is to kind of blow at an angle and hope that they come out rather than go in. But I can actually see them flying past here when I blow. So look, as I say, there's not much I can do about that. Okay, so that's the 4mm. Now we're going to go to a 5, or maybe a 4.5 actually. Yeah, we'll take it slow. The tap size is 6 point something, I can't remember. It's actually, obviously it's an imperial size, but it is equivalent to about 6.35 if I'm not mistaken, something like that. But anyway, I'm going to go to 6 eventually, 6mm, and then I'm going to try and tap it, and hopefully it'll work. Otherwise I may have to go up a little bit more. I may have to see if I can find an imperial drill that's slightly bigger than a 6, but anyway, so here we go with a 4.5. We're just going slow. We don't want to put any undue stress on anything, so we're just going nice and slow. Okay, let me see we're through again. Now basically I believe we're now drilling into what was originally the end of the stud. And it breaks through because obviously the stud that wouldn't have gone all the way through. So that's why you feel that, well, I'm feeling that breakthrough. Okay, so that's 4.5. Now we'll go to 5. I've just noticed that the battery on the camera is running flat. So look, I'm going to finish this and then I'm going to come back. It's getting a bit cold now, so I'm probably going to finish just with drilling this, and then tomorrow we'll come back and we'll try and tap it. So we'll leave it there for now from a filming perspective anyway. Okay, so the big moment has come. We, as you know, we're doing a giveaway with these 2 great Ferguson books, and also hopefully some goodies from Anglo as well. And we've had quite a few entries. We had 14 people comment on our 100th video, and also what?
14, 1, 4.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of.
Kind of. And yeah, so great response on that. So thank you to all of those, especially for your best wishes, and obviously for many of whom also identified their favourite videos. And some of them made me chuckle, some of them I absolutely agree with. And we even had a few who kind of, indicated that their favourite video was the one that's coming. Or those in the future, like for example when we finally finish the tractor. And I think, I kind of understand that sentiment and appreciate it as well. So, look, there were 1 or 2 people who didn't actually identify their favourite video, and I kind of considered, the rules were you needed to comment and you needed to identify your favourite video. But in the end, I've decided just to include everybody's name in the hat, and it's just, this isn't a million pound or anything silly like that, right? It's just a little competition. So. Hopefully nobody's going to have any objection to that. But anyway, the point is, it's now time to draw the winner. So what I've done, I've printed out everybody's name on a piece of paper, and in an appropriate upside down Anglo hat. That's why Oscar's head's a little bit cold today. we've got everybody's name in here, and Oscar's going to do the honours and draw the winner. So stand by. Drum roll, please. Okay, Oscar, go for it. Okay, who's the lucky winner?
Okay. Fold it. Oh, the pressure's building. Come on, open. MF65 in brackets.
Michael from Norway. Well, isn't that something? Michael has been an avid watcher of the channel, follower of the channel for a number of months now, and he almost without fail comments on almost every single one of our videos. So thank you, Michael, and well done. Congratulations. I'll put my email address in the video. Sorry, in the comments in the description of the video below. If you wouldn't mind reaching out to me privately on email, and then we'll get your address and details and everything. We'll get the prize mailed to you as soon as possible. So congratulations, Michael, and again, thank you to everybody who entered. Unfortunately, there can only be one winner, but we really do appreciate everybody's support and continued support of the channel. And of course, we hope that you'll continue watching. We've got some exciting stuff coming now. I have now finally managed to remove that stud. There's a little bit of footage on that in this video, which you'll see. And we now basically, the final result is not brilliant. We have unfortunately damaged the face a little bit. I'll take you over the camera in a minute and show you. But the stud is out, the hole's been retapped, and we now just need to make a replacement stud to go in there. And then we can move ahead and put all the timing equipment back on. So do you want to show people the names? Just take it up to the camera and just show them.
Let me.
Just give it a minute to focus. Hang on, let me.
There we go. It's done.
There we go. MF65, Michael from Norway. Michael's got his own channel actually, and he's busy restoring a much larger Massey. I believe it's a Massey 65, and he's going through a similar process to us. And I'll put a link to his channel in the description as well, if you want to see what he's up to and see how they do it in Norway. Right, great. Thanks, Oscar. Okay, there we go. So now you can see, as I said, a little bit of damage on the face here from the grinding tools that we were using, and unfortunately I can't. It's too deep to face off. But I do, with a little bit of aviation cement, I think that's going to be fine. There is a gasket that goes on here, and then a plate that goes on as well, and I do believe that we can get that to seal. As you can see, I'll see if I can get it to show the threads. There you go. So you can see it's been rethreaded. Really struggled to rethread that actually. I don't know if there was still some of that hardened piece in there. You can see right at the top there, the hole's not exactly round. There was actually a piece stuck in there initially, and I realized that when I was trying to tap it, and of course it was getting caught on the tap, but it just knocked it out. So unfortunately the first, I don't know, maybe eighth of an inch is not entirely perfectly round, but the rest of the hole is absolutely fine. And I took a bolt, one of these bolts, and it screws in there nice and tight, and you can tighten it up quite well. So the next job now will be to either try and find or make a new stud to go in there. I've got the old one, so I'll obviously need to measure that up and get that made, and then we can continue with putting all camshaft back in, get the gears on, timing gears, etc., etc., and get this front of the engine completed, and then we'll be about ready to take it off the engine stand and get it put on back onto the tractor and move forward from there. So look, we're going to finish the video there. It's really cold down here in the workshop today. It's only 4 degrees centigrade outside, and although we've had the heater running for about 20 minutes, it's really struggling to heat the workshop up. So we're going to leave it there for today. Thank you very much for joining us. Once again, congratulations to Michael from Norway. And for the rest of you who entered, sorry, there could only be one winner, but thank you very much for your continued support. And of course, we look forward, as we said in our last video, we look forward to whatever the next milestone will be. And of course, we'll do something then as well. So hope you all have a good week. It's the first week of January now, and hope you all have a good one. Happy New Year to everybody. And of course, we all look forward to perhaps a better 2021 than 2020. But anyway, good luck to everybody, Happy New Year, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers for now.